Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So, today we're going to be talking about virtual reality for surgical applications. Let's get started. Virtual reality is a form of user interface that utilizes artificial software simulations to place a user within digital surroundings that appear hyperrealistic. It is primarily experienced through sights and sounds and is commonly used for entertainment or educational purposes. However, one beneficial use for VR can be found within medical applications, more specifically surgery. Essentially, our presentation today will go into why and how it would be beneficial for VR to be used to train or simulate surgical applications. Along the way, several relevant journal articles will be visited to enhance the proposed integration of surgical training and VR.
One of the articles used was found to discuss the possibility of a successful integration of VR tools with surgical training, specifically for minimally invasive surgery, in order to maximize the transfer of technical skills. The idea was first brought up when the concept of VR was just starting out. However, there was a lack of scientific support as well as management strategies available at the time. Recently, though, there has been progress on the development of virtual reality tools, as well as potential strategies on how to best integrate this tool with the minimally invasive surgery applications. Therefore, the idea is now being revisited, and there is a higher chance of it being implemented in minimally invasive surgery training. However, the success only comes provided that the surgical training follows metrics and strategies specified in the article. It was found that for the greatest success in skill transfer, the user must be trained using moderate intervals of less intensive but highly effective VR simulations. Additionally, the user must be thoroughly educated in the biological and practical knowledge. This would greatly improve upon the current methods of surgical training.
Alright, so moving forward, another article looked at the advancements in modern day general surgery, more specifically, the integration of virtual reality within the scope of liver surgery. To begin with, this article opens with a general discussion of the complexity of liver surgery and how the variability of the organ, along with the lack of common general tools, often acts as a restrictive measurement for those wishing to practice such complex procedures. However, with the help of the National Library of Medicine and their extensive databases, a team set out to construct a three-dimensional image which mimicked the internal anatomy of the liver, along with a computer interface that enabled the user to both manipulate and define the numerous surgical planes. With this new interface, practitioners were quick to find that the anatomy of the liver could easily be seen and manipulated, along with any simulated deformalities, ultimately replicating a laparoscopic tool. By generating the simulation, it generated a valuable learning opportunity by allowing users to mimic any gestures repeatedly, improve their efficiency and effectiveness, and ultimately optimize care delivery.
A third article examines how developments in computing power have made way for a pedagogical paradigm shift in the instruction of surgeons, allowing surgeries to be planned and practiced in advance, using personalized data to create lifelike computer simulations. Discussing how realistic virtual reality has allowed a myriad of industries to increase safety, accuracy, and productivity by way of computerized training, the paper explores how simulations, in concert with haptic feedback devices, and robotics will revolutionize how surgical procedures are performed. The paper outlines 3 ways in which these technological innovations will be of use: in preoperative planning, preoperative surgical practice, and surgical assistance robots. An example of how preoperative planning can be changed by these emerging technologies is a 3D modeled, interactive, deformable liver model that makes use of haptic feedback. This model allows for intricate, never-before-possible surgical planning to take place very cheaply. Preoperative surgical practice is done in a similar fashion, making use of a virtual simulation and haptic feedback devices to create a realistic environment in which surgical practice can be performed without any risk to a patient. Assistive surgical robots are also being developed and can already be found in the form of voice-operated camera arms in operating theaters. The paper puts forth the idea that in the future, mundane surgical procedures could be performed entirely by robots, autonomously. Virtual reality technology is rapidly becoming more and more lifelike, making way for a revolution in the field of surgery. By creating the opportunity for a change in the pedagogical approach of surgical instruction from one of apprenticeship to one based upon repetition, future surgeons will be ready to perform with experience without ever having actually touched a body. In allowing surgeries to be planned uniquely to each patient, quality of care will improve immensely. What would have been considered unexpected complications can now be predicted, simulated, and prepared for well in advance, meaning that surgical procedures will be more streamlined and safer than ever before. Realistic surgical VR technology has created the opportunity for a revolution in how surgery is performed.